So early. You guys want to get some coffee or something?
Can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Even little kids in Mexico drink coffee.
Well, I'm not a little kid in Mexico, okay?
That is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You want a cup of coffee?
No coffee.
Coffee drinker, huh?
Maybe we could grab some coffee?
Coffee, 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 coffee.
God damn, Jimmy. This some serious gourmet shit. Me and Vincent would have been satisfied with some freeze-dried Taster's Choice, right? And he springs this serious gourmet shit on us.
Good morning. It's time for coffee and a little chat, little conversation. Welcome to the show that lasts as long as my coffee. And of course, along for the ride this morning so far is my good buddy Martin, who is in charge of the chat. And here he is, Danny, the Dork Knight. Oh, you're adding him.
Good morning, everybody.
So let's say good morning to the chat so far. Who all is here? We've got my buddy Chris, aka Secret Circus Podcast. He's a former Army Ranger buddy of mine and the brother of probably one of the closest friends I've got, and they're brothers. So he's family. Sean is a guy I've relied on many times in my life. And Chris, of course, is the brother that went away and served in the military and fought in a war. And he's also the guy that if you ever get a hold of the Vietnam fireworks battle video, it's on DVD. Patio Patton, I think, still sells them. You can see the fireworks battle where not only where Patio lost a lot of fireworks, you can also see me dressing fireworks burns on Chris's ass, under his arm, and on his hand. Because he got fucking burned. Of course, Kingsport Cal is here. Good morning, Kingsport Cal. Good morning, John. It's Das Wolfen. Sox Bulletin is here. Thanks, buddy. Always make sure to post over on your page on Facebook. That way I know you got the invitation to be here. I want to thank Stream Elements for being here. The bot really does actually try to help me. He's done nothing for me so far, but I want to thank the bot for doing its best. Who else is here so far? And that's it. That's all of us. Facebook user. Good morning, Gerry Cassell. Saw Keith Moncrief at RubelCon on Saturday. It's Stephanie. Good morning, Stephanie. That's the one you lead in on. You always bury the lead, Stephanie. She's I don't know if she does actual TikTok, but I know she does those little short videos on Facebook where she's dancing and stuff. And she's a cute little thing. She puts out her little videos and just really an all-around really nice person. I really like her a lot. I always look forward to seeing her at the conventions. Aaron Ratliff, good morning to you. I'm going to be talking about two shows in particular today. Hey, Chris is here. What's up, Chris? Working on a film, doing some visual effects. Okay, buddy. Well, don't let me distract you and cause you to destroy something, unless that's what you're supposed to do. And then, of course, Floral is here. Good morning, Floral. I'm really looking forward to doing some music with you, man. I hope you can get some time where we can sit down because I just want to hear you do one of my songs. I just want to hear you or work on one of the pre-recorded non-vocal songs because I've got a whole album written that's not gone. Oh my God, Big Raj. I haven't seen you in a while, dude. And you jump in here with your Canadian $1.99 sticker. What is it, guys? I can't see it.
It doesn't show me either.
If you're in StreamYard, it won't show you. You
I'm
only get to see it.
looking on. I'm
Hold
looking
on,
on.
I'm getting ready to go.
It's a
over-
thumbs up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I finally went over. I'm over in YouTube.
Oh yeah,
land.
big
And I
red
finally saw
thumbs
the
up.
big red thumbs up. Yes. Good morning, Big Rog. Good to see you. And it's been a while since I saw you. I think I haven't seen you in a couple weeks. In fact, the last time I saw you was before we did VisionCon. I know it's weird that I pay attention to these things, but I really care about my fucking audience. You guys are why I do this. Gap After Dark, which was Gap Stargate. Good morning. How are you doing? And apparently Chris is beaten off. That's what he does. Army Rangers, man. Army Rangers all the way. C-130 rolling down the strip. Airborne daddy on a one-way trip. I said a left, right, left. Left, right, left. Keep it in step. Yeah, those things stay with you for life because you do it so often. That is actually running cadence, not walking cadence. And an amusing one, Chris, that you might like is Drill Sergeant Meratiti, which we just called him Drill Sergeant Titty because he had big man boobs. And I like that name. And he was Hawaiian, and he was also a former Marine drill sergeant and went Army. And he called on me to do cadence one morning, and only people who are in the Marine Corps will get what I did because I'll do this and I bet you guys don't get it at all. So I went out there, and instead of doing Army cadence, I did Marine cadence. So I went, I lip. Because Marine DIs don't fucking say actual words. I have no idea what that crazy yodeling shit they do. And so I just did what they did. Cracked him up. All right.
Wow,
so,
you're talking about two shows I haven't seen yet, so I might not be able to add much, or I might dip out, let somebody else talk to you about
well,
them.
I'm not going to. No, stick around, dude, because I want to talk to you after the show.
Oh,
in
okay.
particular. But Evil on FX is just what a good show that is. It's got a great cast. You got what's her name? Katya Herbers. She plays the part of the main central character. She's a psychoanalyst. And you've got a priest or a student priest who's now a priest, played by Mike Coulter. You know him from the Marvel series on Netflix. Oh my God, I just forgot the series. And the character, he's always says something about Christmas. I'm drawing blanks this morning.
Oh, the Luke Cage guy?
Luke Cage. He played Luke Cage. And I don't think they're going to get him back. I really don't. He's too busy with this series. He's got a hit series on his own. And you've got Asif Manvi. He plays Ben, and it's perfect. You've got a psychoanalyst who's having paranormal shit happening in her life. You have a priest or a student priest becoming a priest, and you have the scientific guy that tests everything who's agnostic and doesn't believe in anything supernatural. Perfect team up. It's the perfect team up. And he's also, on top of that, he's Muslim with a very religious sister and family. So it's weird how he's having, each character has their own shit they got to deal with. She's got a bunch of daughters and a mother who has just been kind of a cunt the whole series, but now she's an evil cunt, bent to warp her family into what she needs, and she's made a pact with the devil to do it. It's really, season 1 was great, but once they got that first season out of the way and people started liking it, became a hit, they went off the rails with shit. And I'm saying, like, the demons are more, they're not omnipresent, they're not in the background, they're part of the show. And they changed how the show opens. It now opens like a fable where a book opens up about demons, and it's got open pages where stuff flip up. Those little books, the pop-up books, and they do that shit. And some of them are meant to scare you. I just fucking love this show, man. It's brilliantly written. And I think it's clear that the couple that make the show together grew up Catholic. And sadly, Peter Scolari was part of the cast. He was one of the main characters on the show. And of course, he died right after the second season for the third season. And so it was the new season was dedicated to him. I think it was beautiful. And he's been a favorite actor of mine since, Booze and Buddies, when he had that show with Tom Hanks. And yeah, that's definitely a problem, Aaron, is the sexual tension between Mike Coulter's character and Katya's character. And in fact, a demon pretended to be her and they fucked. Yeah, he fucked the demon. And they do have naughty words in this show because it's on Paramount Plus now. They cuss and they show nudity. So you got that extra perk with watching this show.
Nice.
I love the writing on the show. Michael Emerson, I thought would be a short-lived villain because he just was so scummy that I couldn't see him surviving. But man, they found a way. And he's still going. And you might remember him from Person of Interest and Lost. Just a great actor. And they brought in another actor. I cannot remember her name. Give me a second. I'm going to look it up real quick. Hold on. Also, the psychoanalyst, main psychoanalyst, is married. And her attraction to the priest was having impact on her marriage. But they brought in, and the kids that play the daughters are fucking great. Christine Lottie plays the mother, the cunt mother. And she really is. Andrea Martin from SCTV plays a nun on the show, and she's really good. She has funny moments, but this season she's really digging into the character, and she's gotten into trouble because she admitted to seeing demons, including seeing once having a conversation with, I think, a bishop or a cardinal. Mm-hmm. And that pissed off people within the church. And they tried to get her forced into nun retirement. And of course, Mike Coulter his character came in and defended her. And because he sees demons too. And he knows now that he fucked a demon. That it wasn't the psychoanalyst that he had sex with. It was this demon. And but this latest episode, the demon is kind of like a mosquito, because Andrea Martin's character hears a thump, calls out to him, he doesn't answer, and she opens the door and sees the priest, Mike Coulter's priest character, laying on the floor, and this demon with something between it and his head, sucking something out of his head. And when he wakes up, he acts like, you interrupted me. There was no demon in here, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I fell asleep on the fucking floor. So something's going on with him. And I think this demon is wreaking havoc on him. If you're not watching this show, you should go try it. You should try it.
I definitely want to see the other one you're about to talk about, The Old Man. My mom's been recommending that to me. I plan on watching that soon.
Absolutely. And Patrick Bramall plays Andy Bouchard, the main character's husband. And he's they were both mountain climbers, and you get that through their relationship and through photos and the backstory. And you find out that she stayed home for the kids while he kept doing this, and he wanted to retire from it this season because it was hurting his marriage. And he hates Christine Lottie, the mother-in-law. He doesn't trust her. He knows she's up to something. And something happens this season. I don't want to tell you what it is. And Christina Lottie and Michael Emerson, his character Leyland, they're evil. They're in league with the demons, and they're up to something. They're these sigils, little symbols that finally we found out about this supernatural group within the Catholic Church who are making contact with this priest. And they're telling him, we want you to be a part of what we're doing. But he doesn't trust them, nor I think should you, because we don't really know what drives them. But he did point out in one of the previous episodes that started running a red marker through him because he had secretly taken a photo of all the sigils. He wasn't supposed to. And they pieced it together on a little map. And he started drawing X's through the ones that the Catholic Church has already destroyed. But he showed the main ones that are the problem. And it's like, this show really knows how to build and keep going. And they're doing what should have been done with the Exorcist series. And I hear they're trying to bring the Exorcist back, but I think only because this show's such a hit. Because this show did it right. But anybody commenting, Martin, on this show? Because I've been
Gab is asking me what my most prized collectible is, and just I don't have one anymore. I used to.
No, I mean about the show.
Oh
no, I haven't seen anything of those shows.
Well, Kingsport Cal says he fucked a demon once. Look, man, if you've been married and divorced, you fucked a demon.
Yeah, I've been divorced twice. So,
but I wanted to spend at least a half hour on this subject because this show is so freaking good, and I can't recommend it enough. It's one of my favorite shows, and I miss it when it's not on the air. I've gone back and watched specific episodes because each episode deals with something. Because these three have been put together to investigate cases for the Catholic Church. The Archbishop of the diocese, which I think was played by Peter Scolari. Now they have another priest that's been put in charge since Scolari's character died. And in the show, they had him die on the show too. Good morning, Monkey Jeebus, one of my two favorite monkeys. I see. Aaron said, "I swear, Gary, I keep expecting a demon prince and archangel to show up." Look, they kind of had an archangel. They showed Michael in a vision by the priest in the last. I think that was the last episode, and I noticed very obviously that when there's a tear in the fabric of reality, it subconsciously is meant to look like a vagina opening up and giving birth. And the symbolism is not missed on me because I get the significance of that in the Catholic Church. So it's like, that's interesting that they chose to do that. I'm telling you, I've never investigated, and I would love to talk to those two, the Kings, husband and wife team. Clearly fucking Catholic. At least they were raised Catholic. I don't know if they're still, they could be like me, failed Catholics. But that doesn't mean I don't have great memories growing up being an altar boy and the friendships and leadership I had under the priests, because there's none of that fooling around shit. We had great priests. One of them, though, was a real jerk. His name was Father I just forgot his name. Good Lord. The two priests that I love the most were Father Weems, who is my godfather. I've known him since I was a baby. And then Father Sikora, who died in right around 1990, right when I went away to the Army. And I found out while I was in the Army. And they were like my guardians. They really helped me a lot when I didn't have anybody to talk to. I had no real friends. Those were the two I would go to, and I would just sit and have coffee with them, soda, and just talk as a kid. And very protective of me. None of that diddling shit went on at our churches. We did have a gay priest, Father Ramey. He did die from complications brought on by AIDS. And it was sad. He was a good priest. He was a nice guy, but he refused to give up his lifestyle, and it cost him his life. And so he was a funny priest. He told some really funny jokes, almost risque jokes. In real life, Ed and Lorraine Warren are fascinating, or were fascinating people. But I don't know how much of the shit was true. I call bullshit on a lot of that. I'm a cynic, but I do believe in UFOs. I just don't believe in demons and all that shit, but I'm fascinated by it because I grew up in the middle of that shit. But the Warrens were fascinating, and they had a thriving business of doing what they did, and they believed it. I don't doubt for a second they believed completely what they did. But hey, I want to go back, and I want to thank Big Raj again for that $1.99 super sticker. Let me go into the videos because I deleted a bunch of videos last night to make space for other stuff. But I kept some of my favorite stuff. And I think I'm going to play one for him that has one of my favorites. This one right here. This one's for you, Big Rod.
I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
There you go. Did I say who else was here? Who just joined us?
Anima Confusa and
Anima Confusa. Hi. And Dennis McCullough is here. What's up, Dennis? But Monkey Jeebus, I call bullshit on them, but they believed it. I don't doubt it. I don't think they were hucksters. I think they firmly believed what they did. They believed that to their death. And he was dedicated to his wife. What a great couple. I mean, when you see the relationship those two had, but they firmly believed in what they had, and that they, in their museum, they had items they believed were cursed. But I don't believe in curses. I don't believe in possession. I'm sure my godfather would be really getting angry at me, say, Gary, how dare you? Oh, I'm so ashamed of you. He said that to me a couple times in my life. So I know what he sounds like when he says it. And he's one of the few human beings I don't want mad at me, because when he gets mad at me, he gets mad at me. Yes, I've seen that in person when I had some Indian cuisine and shit my brains out for 3 days. That was an Indian curse right there, my friend. Oh, you meant the other Indian, American Indian. Gotcha. Look, man, I'm not going to shit on anybody else for their beliefs. And I get mad at atheists when they fuck with people who believe in stuff. I wish I could believe in stuff. But, yeah, I know that Kingsport Callow is fucking with you.
So
I just don't believe it.
Not dots.
I'm a cynic. I have to, I don't believe in something unless I can see it happening. I'm a science guy. I got ruined by science. Ruined, Brian. Ruined. Oh, Marcos, what's up? Hi to all the mods in the chat for all the hard work you do. Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. And despite being an agnostic atheist, I still pray every day. I'm just not sure what I'm praying to, or if it's even there. It's a habit. Because look, man, I grew up Catholic and I was devout almost my entire life. And it took a traumatic incident where I realized the only person that's getting me through this and out of this is me. I was on my own. And that was the kidnapping of my daughter. And if I hadn't developed self-reliance, I probably would have blown my brains out. But I developed that self-reliance and faith in myself. And it cost me, though. It cost me that belief that I had, where I really felt alone. And it was the first time in my life I ever felt completely alone. No, God. I love Mikey. And this time I'm referring to Mikey Canal, Mexican Iron Man. He's messaging me. And he just referred to himself as hashtag emotionally needy Mexican in our private chat. Oh, I love him so much. If it were for him, I wouldn't be doing this show. We'd still just be doing some of the shit we were doing. But Mikey put faith in me to do something with this channel. And right now on this screen is my team. This is my team for building the channel. It's oh wait, no, it's Danny. I'm sorry, Danny's here. Martin and Danny are going to be my guys that help me build this channel, and I'm going to ask you guys too to help me do this. Share, get your friends to come watch this show and see how stupid I am. And come see Keith deliver some of the fucking knowledge he lays down. And there's no question, I'm very knowledgeable. It's why he and I are such good friends, because I can talk about things that he knows. And I'll shock him every once in a while and start talking about something he doesn't fucking know. And I like doing that. I like surprising him. But the fact is, Keith is he's busy with things. I'm looking forward to when he retires, because I think I'll get more time out of him. But he is, very focused on family, very focused on his job. And so therefore, the one thing he gives, and it's a great gift to this channel, that's why he's my partner in so many ways, is he puts the time into being on air and helping with these things and laying down that knowledge, because that's what started this whole thing. Him and me doing panels at comic conventions together. Southern Baptist, I'm loosely religious, occasionally read my Bible. Also have worn my cross necklace for years, never take it off. As Catholics, we carry it with us all the time. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. It reminds me of a joke I'll tell some other time. Aaron says, scariest thing my granddad ever said to me is, just because we don't believe the devil exists don't mean he believes you don't exist. Yeah. Anima says, you are too quiet, so forgot you're here, Danny. And of course, Anima joined the show because of him. And this is how you grow a show. I like organic growth. I used to buy advertising for the show through Google, and I've stopped because it's just not worth it. Echo.
Hello, everyone.
Keith. There, I've turned on your echo canceling.
Hello, Keith.
First of all, sorry to interrupt. First,
no, I invited you. You're not. I sent you the invite personally. You're not.
I know. And normally I'd be asleep, but first of all, let me just come on and say, I love you, man. I mean, I love this guy
too.
He is an incredible guy. I heard the nice things you said about me, and
oh, you missed the nasty things I said then.
That's why I love hanging out with all of you guys. Hey, Danny. Hey, Martin.
Hey, Keith.
When I'm not around you guys, I can be out and about and doing stuff, and I just keep thinking to myself, hey, here's something that we could talk about. I mean, between you guys and Steven and everyone else, everyone here has shown me incredible kindness, and I really enjoy doing this. But I'm not here without Gerry.
Well, we both are, because we do know that you emotionally held me hostage to get me on camera. This is a historical fact. I didn't want to be on camera. I wanted to just sit behind the camera and then make comments that you could hear, but I would be behind the camera.
Oh, you wanted to be a talking head like this guy?
No, I wanted to be the director.
Oh,
and you just hear me over the microphone, open mic, and me in the background, real quiet, like, oh, hey, Keith. Why are you black today? Why are you so black?
When you hear Gerry talk about why we have so many things in common, here's another little piece of trivia that he may have forgotten. But I was actually going to do another show a few years back, and that's what I was going to do. I wasn't even going to be on-air talent. I was going to direct, and I had two people that were going to be the host of the show, and I would just feed them stuff to say. And that didn't quite work out, because one person decided they didn't want to do comics anymore, and the other person decided they were going to get married and have kids and move halfway across the world. So
it happens, man. and you and I connected at just the right time.
Yeah. You came into my life at the exact right time for me to be open to do this stuff here, and I thank you every day.
And you know, and if you heard me, I also said that I have brought these two guys here to help me build this show and grow it, because I had explained to you know, the guys I refer to as my bosses, which is Pat and Mike. Pat and Mike, that's right, Pat and Mike. Mexican Iron Man, and I forget what his nickname is. Let me go look at that again. Shrimp Lightning is Pat S. And I told him, I said, look, man, here's what I've always been known for in business. And I took a business that was making under $500,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hired to build their IT department, including all the marketing. And within under 2 years, we went from $500,000 to $2.2 million a year. I was getting a nice paycheck working for them. Mm-hmm. And Craig Zwiner, God rest his soul, one of my closest friends for years, was my boss there. And he fucked me over quite a few times, and sometimes not intentionally, and I know that. I never took it personally. It's business. It pissed me off, and I got him back. That's how we could stay friends, because I got him back. Because they took me for close to $50,000 by switching out the corporations. They went to St. Louis lawyers to supposedly to work out the percentages that each one of us that built this company were going to get. It was a phantom carrot. It was a lie. And I don't blame Craig on this. It was the other co-owner of the company that was doing this. And they went and closed down the corporation that had the contract with me that said that at the end of the year, for the cut and pay that I took, they had to match it for my Christmas bonus. It was also hinging on the fact that we had to make a certain amount. We did. We hit that goal. And when they went to St. Louis and came back, I discovered they had shut the corporation down and created a whole new corporation. And by doing that, that contract was null and void. And I needed that job because I was raising Zoe. That was good money. In Missouri, I'd taken a 50% pay cut. But it was still fucking good money. I was making $15 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is back in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I kept the job, but I got even, and I transferred from Lebanon, Missouri to Springfield, Missouri, 50 miles away, where the actual servers were. And my buddy Rick Thompson, who managed the Ozark networks where our servers were, I worked with him. I went into an office right down the hall from him, and we'd see each other all the time. I'd hang out with him, and he knew what I was doing. I'm going to get that fucking money from them one way or another. So I began working 4 hours a day, but billed them for 8. Sometimes I'd bill them for 10. And I ended up getting $35,000 back. It was enough where I felt I feel even now.
Yeah.
And the company was going under because it was being mismanaged. I don't feel bad over what I did because I did my job. I was very good at what I did. And I worked in marketing. Part of what I did was marketing. I did, helped sell things like Prime Trucking. It's a major trucking company in the U.S. Mm-hmm. And I was there when we closed that deal. And it's what I said that closed the deal. Because they were pissing in money. Because anybody that goes through Springfield, Missouri, that's driven by Prime, their sign, their big 4-sided sign, lit up. That thing cost them close to $5,000 a month at the time, just to light it and manage it, keep it up, the uptake, everything, or upkeep. And I was sitting there with them, and they were complaining about because we were the vertical portal for the trucking industry.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to get to anything in the trucking industry, TruckNet was where you went. And we were the number one trucking site in the world. Not to mention, we had the Truckers Roundtable, where all the truckers came. Tons of members that would go in there, and they would have chats. You know, we were trying to do everything. Social media. Back when social media was not even available, really.
Mm-hmm.
You went to bulletin boards. We had a social media platform. It was really good business. We made good money. I was in charge of building marketing plans for clients to get dedicated applications from drivers, owner operators to lease operators to independent truckers that were looking for a job and a truck.
How is that still going?
They were bought. They were eventually. iFleet bought them in 2000 and moved me from Lebanon, Missouri, down to Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
I was making tons of money there, and then they started hemorrhaging money because they had a manager. My manager, she was really good at some things, but man, she would overspend it at trucking shows across the United States, and where we would spend like $1,500. She was spending as much as $10,000 to $15,000.
Wow.
Per show, and
Wow.
company was hemorrhaging money through advertising, and then on top of that, we went through a dry spell where a lot of competitors were really trying to fight us, and I was it. Craig was gone; he was up in Missouri. I was the one managing TruckNet, and so I had to manage the marketing and everything. The only thing I didn't have to do was the sales. And I feel that's where we fell apart, was we didn't have a good sales team like we had previously.
Mm-hmm.
And because like I'm still friends with the people that sold. In fact, one of them is going to join us for Pop Culture Minefield. She's going to, when it's time to start selling and getting advertising or advertisers, she's the one that's stepping in with us. And I'm looking forward to introducing everybody, because I just talked to her. It was her birthday last week. And she's really stoked at the idea. She loves our channel.
Well,
next, Dina Sanders, who is also one of the only human beings I've ever yelled at and still likes me.
I went to in a related thing. I went to an event this past Saturday, and let me just say that, wow, we have a lot of fans.
Really?
And yeah, I know, right? I ran into quite a few, and I also have a hello to you from Brittany Greer. And
look, she's part of Pop Culture Minefield.
I know. I keep telling her that, but
we both keep telling her, and it's like
she's got a movie that she's making. She's had a dream, and she's going to start.
I know, but she's so pretty, and she's so funny. I don't think she thinks she's pretty at all.
She is fantastic.
She's gorgeous, and she's really good at effects. I was showing off her work the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I think to Martin. I think it was showing.
You could replace me with her, and viewership would go up, mainly because she knows so much. She has a great.
No, you're our black demographics. No, the show would flounder without you. Good morning, War Monkey. Good to see you, my friend.
Hey.
CJ Bat Punk is here. Good morning, CJ. I'm never going to live it down, nor are you, that I accidentally called you CJ Bat Spunk. And just like with Backdoor Gerry, live with it, motherfucker. You wanted to be friends. Now, welcome to Gary's friendship.
As soon as we start working on new T-shirts and stuff, I've run into quite a few people that want to buy them.
Oh, shit. Mr. Tickle Trunk snuck in. Good morning, Mr. Tickle Trunk. It's always good to see my Canadian friend.
Good morning.
So I got a lot of hellos to you, because people seem to think that whenever I go to one of these events that you're instantly going to be there or be around. And I tell them that Gerry has his own life and that he's busy running the complete and utter pop culture empire. And
well, the thing I'm getting ready to work with Danny on is building the business plan / whatever that's called, where it shows
the operating agreement.
Because when we eventually build this show up, because really we've been going organic, and but we're coming to a point where we need to stop doing that, because we're just going to look like we don't know what we're doing if we don't start doing a full court press on some of this.
Yes.
And the fact is, and I talked to Mike about it today, it's like, look, man, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing except for on a couple of things. One, I can talk. Two, I know how to build teams. It's what I've done for years. My entire adult life has been building teams and managing teams. I did it for the in the private sector. I did it in the military, and I've always excelled at it. I've always gotten compliments on my team building and team managing, because I look for certain kinds of people that know certain kinds of things. And one of the things I was told that helped this is learning what your weaknesses are as a person, me. And I had to learn where my strengths were and where my weaknesses were. And you find people who can plug those holes in what you do. And with, I know that with on air, because we refer to you behind the scenes as on air talent. And it's kind of meant as a joke, but the fact is, I said it earlier, you've got a family, you put a lot of focus on that, and you put a lot of your focus on your current career, which I'm looking forward to when you do retire, because I think I'll get at least a little more of your time. But the fact is, I also have a career, and I'm doing things. And so I realized that if I keep waiting, this show's not going to go anywhere. And I would like to build something that's more fun. I want to have stuff. And I got to be honest, I love what Latino Slant did. I love Paulie. Paulie knows I love him.
Oh, yeah. Paulie's good people.
And I love the shit out of Tom and Andre on a personal level and on a professional level.
They're the godfathers of this show. I mean, to me, I don't think we could do as well as we've done without Tom and Andre and Paulie.
I will never reinvent the wheel, but when I see something very smart done, I realize that our channel needs to have a Latino angle too, because we have a lot of people that watch our show that are Latino. We have a huge Latino audience, and we have a Latino presence on the show with Martin. And
I think we also need more women.
Did you just like shit yourself? What was that fucking sound? Token. You meant Tolkien.
Oh, JRR. Got it. Okay.
Wait, hold on. What did Bet Punk say? I guess if you like a bunch of female characters, you still a sexist if you don't like Captain Marvel. Look, I'm going to tell you something. If they can fucking rein in what Victoria Alonso did with Captain Marvel, I will shut the fuck up about Brie Larson. Because half of the shit she did in public, I'd say all the shit she did in public is because she got the wink and nod from fucking Victoria Alonso to go ahead. She had her to protect her and to nudge her on, because everybody knows her socio-political stance. Victoria Alonso is an outspoken, progressive, lesbian feminist, which means that men are second-class citizens in her eyes. They've been in the lead too long and need to be knocked down a few pegs. It's not about equality. It's about knocking down a few pegs. You understand? That's my problem with progressive lesbian feminists or progressive feminists.
When I say the name Wonder Woman, a lot of us, especially those of us that grew up in the late 60s and then
I read 70s. What you said, Gap. I was going to read it out loud, but Keith has a point. Keep going, Keith.
We think of a particular actress whom she actually became Wonder Woman. We didn't know her political stance. We didn't know her.
No.
Yeah, she's Wonder Woman. There is no Linda Carter. There's Wonder Woman. And so when you see her, that's what you think. And I'm sure there are a lot of people that think that with Gal Gadot. But those of us that grew up in the 70s, we think that same way about Christopher Reeve, who took being Superman very seriously. And again, Henry Cavill does it just as serious.
It wasn't just a fucking job.
That's right.
It was carrying a torch for fandom.
And so if you're going to portray a character, you have to understand what that character represents. And with Captain Marvel in the Marvel universe, supposedly representing the same thing that you have with, say, Superman and Wonder Woman in the DC universe, for Brie Larson to have done those things, you're breaking that contract that you have with the fans. And you're mixing your personal life with the character that you're portraying. And
no, it's totally true. I want to get to the chat. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
But there's some stuff being said that I want to go to. I just want She-Hulk to be sexy, kind of slutty, like in the comics. Yep. I don't think they're going to do that on Disney completely, but she's going to be cute and flirty. But I have to go to the store now. But remember, I'm part Cubano. Yeah, I can jump on the future if you like. I'm spunky. Bat spunk. Na bat spunk. Mr. Tickle Trunk. Now, when I use the word progressive is not a good word. Progressives are a major problem, and you've got them on the left and right. Famously, one of the best presidents of the United States for certain things was a Republican, but he was a progressive Republican. And he did the one thing that nobody had the balls to do, was he broke up, I think it was, I'm not sure if it was one of the Standard Oil is who he broke up, is Teddy Roosevelt. They were a monopoly, and they were crushing it with the industry, but they were crushing it because they controlled everything. So he stopped them from being able to do that. He stepped in and interceded for the American people and for small business owners everywhere. And that's one spot where a progressive worked for the right reasons. But progressives today are different than progressives of the past. Back then, they really were progressives. They were trying to get things to go a certain way, growth. Now progressives are reductive. And most of your progressives are against building new oil refineries. They're against pipelines. Even though we have proven time and time, they don't listen. You can prove yourself blue in the fucking face that it is safer to transport oil by pipe than it is by ship. It's safer than what nature offers, because nature vomits oil all the time. And people don't know that. For some fucking reason, they don't seem to be aware of this, that there are natural oil disasters not caused by fucking companies that amount to 1,000 times what the Exxon Valdez did, or down in the Gulf. Those are nothing compared to some of the things that happen in nature. You know, I was making fun of it the other day with Lauren and Randy, or not Randy, Brad, about the fact that people go, you know, I eat organic. Everything needs to be natural. I said, poisons are natural. Most poisons. Also, where do chemicals come from? Oh, it's the mixing of organic compounds. You fucking moron. I really hate talking to stupid people. I really do. And you can always tell when I'm talking to a stupid person because this is the look on my face. And then I'll say something like, you know, that's not how that actually works, right? Yes, everything, even when it's got preservatives. Where'd the preservatives come from? They just pulled it out of the fucking air? No. Fucking people. I get so tired of people. You know, organic is better. Oh, are you saying that organic things don't cause cancer? Fucking morons. Caffeine's natural. It's natural. It occurs naturally in nature. Comes in things like chocolate. and delicious coffee beans. Best coffee in the world is double organic. Yes, I've never had it, won't have it. It's where they let bats eat the coffee beans and then shit them out in guano. Yeah. It is really expensive coffee. Yeah, rich people are fucking crazy.
I don't need crap coffee, especially bat crap coffee. So,
yeah, I don't think. Hey, Script, you want to join us, man?
You should come on, Script.
Martin, can you send him an invite? Or do you have him as a friend, don't you?
I don't know.
Let me here, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yes.
Invite,
Yes.
copy to clipboard. There are just some things that Martin can't do.
But Martin's cool.
He's okay.
But as I said before, I think we need more women on the show. And after Brittany gets done with her film, I told her I'm gonna bug her about being on our show more after she's done with her film.
Well, I talked for a half hour, by the way, about Evil, which I think is really one of my favorite shows on TV. Not my most favorite, but it is one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad you're here now because we can talk about The Old Man, because you reminded me of something I hadn't even considered, was the original screenplay for John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
That The Old Man is basically the same story as what was in that script. The original script for John Wick.
Yeah.
That he was an older guy, closer to 70.
Mm-hmm.
And was being forced back in.
Mm-hmm.
And even though, yes, Keanu Reeves is in his 50s.
Or so he says.
You know, he made a deal with the devil.
150.
Did you read the article where he said he wanted to play Batman?
Well, he has. He already has.
Yeah, he's done the voice of Batman in that new animated film that's yet to be released.
DC Pets or Super Pets or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I sent you an invite if you can make it, buddy.
I look at it this way. After I heard his voice in that Super Pets, I just thought, why don't they just make an animated Batman theatrical movie and just have Keanu do that? I mean, he's good. He's a natural, you know.
Whoa. I'm Batman.
I like Keanu. I like his vibe.
Hold on. This just popped in. Someone's is watching our show right now for the first time.
Whoa.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Enema, you have actually had the Bat Guano coffee?
There's also one where cats shit it too.
I don't know about that one.
No, it's monkeys.
Is it monkeys? I could have swore there was one with cats.
Yeah, I think I've heard about that one. Also birds, and I'm like, ooh, gross, fuck you. No.
Yeah, it's called Kopi Luwak.
Actually, I think you're incorrect on that. Curdled or spoiled milk is what's used for chocolate, or was used for chocolate ice cream for decades. And it's why I stopped eating chocolate ice cream, because my dad told me, that motherfucker. You know, when you eat that, you're eating spoiled milk.
So earlier when I was, so I've got a gentleman here working on my kitchen sink, and that's where I disappeared to for a minute. But I was listening.
Thank God that ended with kitchen sink and not your dick.
You're funny. So anyway, so I was listening.
You're funny.
And, you're talking about having more girls. So I don't know if you want me to do this on your channel, but Anima, I'm going to pop her cherry when it comes to guesting on a show.
You need to watch your language, mister.
I'm gonna pop her podcast cherry, and she's gonna talk.
I see.
She just finished watching all of The Boys. She hadn't seen any of The Boys we were talking about, so she watched all of season.
She's caught up.
Yeah, she watched them all, and we're gonna do a show together, talking about her.
I would like to dedicate a morning show to The Boys, so both of you would be great to have on.
Yeah, so I think she was a little apprehensive about just the two of us. She did want somebody else.
No. You will join us.
Join us,
and we'll do it on here because I love The Boys. I have problems with it, but I do like it.
How's tomorrow look for you guys? Or you got something planned for tomorrow?
It looks like Wednesday? Tomorrow.
No, I mean
Oh,
to talk
jeez.
about the boys with Anima. The only thing, Anima, you gotta, I don't know, kind of.
Yeah, we can make it tomorrow.
You don't have to, but it'd be nice if you showed your face. That's what you get for sporting bedroom. Oh yeah. Those bedroom eyes. And what was King Sport Cal saying earlier about me being eye candy? I need some clarification on that. I don't know.
You're definitely a bear, but you're not fat, but you have you're a hairy motherfucker.
So when I was 400 pounds, my buddy was like, "Man, we should go to what was it called back? There's lots of gay bars out here. I can't remember. It's near Trop in Paradise, but he was like, we need to go there and you'll be treated like Marilyn Monroe. We won't have to pay for any of our drinks. And I'm like, I don't think it's worth it to me. I just, that's good for you, man. But it's not worth it to me.
By the way, is everybody enjoying the new opening titles? I'm going to try to find more and more coffee references in movies and TV shows and just add them to the opening credits. I get a kick out of our opening titles. Just here for the eye candy. Okay, that's what it was. Okay,
I got it.
Yeah, because you were quiet for a little bit there.
Well, you were talking about Evil, and I haven't seen it yet, so I didn't know what to. We didn't really have anything.
You didn't have anything to add. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But let's just we can do our World War II aircraft show anytime after this week. Yeah, if you want to jump on and talk about World War II aircraft, because you and I've talked about that shit before. I am knowledgeable, but not uber knowledgeable on World War II aircraft because I used to build a lot of model kits. I had I don't know what to call him. I think he was a first cousin, but he was a first cousin through my grandfather. So I don't know. Is that where the twice removed comes into play?
I don't know.
When it's a generation thing. I've always wondered how that works. But he was a first cousin through my grandfather. He flew. That was cousin Bud. He flew PBYs in World War II, and he was either doing rescue missions or search and destroy missions where he carried explosives to hit small ships or submarines in the Pacific. And then my uncle Bud, who was he was my great uncle, he flew B-17s over Europe. And when he came home, he was heading towards the air base there in central Illinois up north. And he buzzed our hometown and flew over the houses of the entire neighborhood of the family. Because they all lived within like a block of each other, the entire family.
Oh my God.
And he buzzed the houses and he got in trouble for it, but he didn't care. What are you going to do? Take me out of the military? The war's over. Fuck you. So Uncle Bud and Cousin Bud. And then my Uncle Jack was a grunt. He served in the U.S. Armed Forces. He was, God, I forget what infantry he was in, but he fought in the Germans in France, German-occupied France. And then my grandpa served in World War I in the trenches. He was there from day one to the last day of the war on Armistice Day. And I love hearing what he did. He was in charge of all these guys. And when they told him, when he's, it hits 11 o'clock in the morning, the war's over. So shoot him if you got him. And so a lot of people just opening up, firing at the German trenches because they fucking hated the Huns, as they called them. My grandpa got up and just started walking towards the rear. And a bunch of his guys just got up and followed him. And he went all the way back to the artillery. And that's what he was trained on. He wasn't trained in trench warfare. He was trained on artillery. And he went and started firing round after round of howitzers until 11 o'clock in the morning on the enemy trenches. And then when I think someone either blew a whistle or one of those Flintstones birds, told him the war was over. He
All right,
just,
so
he turned around and left, and that's how he ended the war. Was firing howitzer rounds one after the other at the German front line.
so I was just informed that he's gonna have to like saw and make a bunch of noise and stuff. So I'm gonna still be listening. I'll interact in the chat, but I'm gonna go silent for a little bit because it's gonna be
That's
loud.
fine, man. Just
Yeah,
stick around
okay.
throughout the show because we need to talk.
Yeah. Okay.
That is it. So I guessed it correctly. Or are you saying it, Mr. Tickle Trunk, or God damn it, you put quotes around it, so now you're quoting me. And I was asking, there should be a question mark at the end of that because I'm not sure if that's what it is. Explain yourself, Mr. Tickle Trunk. God damn it. Gerry blows birds. Thanks, Parrot Head. Good morning, buddy. Bill Barkley is here. Bill Barkley is in the house. I finally watched the Netflix Resident Evil series. I'm just not interested in it for some reason. I don't think it's going to be terrible. There's nothing that said to me, this is worth your time. And nothing anybody has said about it so far has got my pulse to jump to want to go watch it. Okay, so I was right. Thank you. I'm so glad because I was trying to figure that shit out. And so my cousin Bud is my cousin twice removed, first cousin twice removed. So yeah, he's not eye candy anymore. Now he's just a Muppet, a digital Muppet. But let's move on to the show that's really blowing everybody away. It's blowing me away. Every episode is The Old Man. And my God, that show is good. And
Free Zone. Sorry, I just remembered the name of the gay bar. It was random as hell. Sorry. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I do that. I'll be sitting there at the breakfast table, and I'll just shout out, the answer to something I couldn't figure out the night before. And people look at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? It was Michael Keaton. And everybody's like, Michael Keaton what? And I'm like, that worked for Mr. Rogers before his career took off. It was something that we talked about last night. We weren't there, so we don't connect with that. You're weird. And so let's see. After 2 episodes, what? Oh, really? I'm not surprised. Some people are saying it's good. Some people are saying it's bad. I've not heard anybody say it was great.
I tried watching it. I couldn't even finish the first episode. It was,
stupid.
Well,
yeah, I get you.
The Old Man is actually based on a book called The Old Man from author Thomas Perry, and it was published in 2017. And looks like it did enough right to be able to quickly become this particular limited series that we're enjoying right now.
Yeah, I'm going to I want to show just a little bit of this clip. I'm probably going to do it with no audio. This is a spoiler warning for a fight scene within the show. Let me go to share screen here. I'm going to go to Chrome tab, Old Man, and then share screen. Do I have audio? Yes, I do. And it even has a spoiler warning on it right there. I'll fill the screen with it. And I'm going to pause it because I don't want to get ganked by YouTube or by I think FX produces this show.
I think so.
Zoe, the character Zoe, is looking through the window, seeing this happening. And she's actually seeing actually, we don't know if he's the old man. The old man actually has another reference within the story if you read or watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an assassin who was sent to kill him. That's the bullet hole that he tried to take him out with when he fired his weapon. So it's not quite John Wick, but this guy does know how to do hand-to-hand combat really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Bridges is right in there, man. Close up, doing his own fight scene. Guy's 70 fucking years old, man. Survived cancer last year.
I think they were shooting
COVID.
this. I think they were shooting this right around the time that he began his cancer fight.
Yep.
So
this is the problem with black villains, man. That the hubris that he thinks the fight's over. I don't know why I say some of the things I say.
I'm not going to bail you out on that one. I'm just going to sit here.
And those dogs, man, are the fucking shit. They've bailed him out, saved him so many times in the story. Again, you're seeing the actors doing these stunts. So clearly this guy has some stunt experience, not just as an actor. Like, holy smokes. It's all close up.
Joey, it's okay.
It's okay. I love that. Calm down. Remain calm. Everything is fine. I just shot a guy in your kitchen. Yeah, the two dogs are great.
I know.
And
makes me want to get two dogs like that when I get to be. Oh,
what's
go ahead.
that? No, when he gets in that fight on the dirt road.
Yeah.
That is one of the most intense fight scenes I have ever seen. And once again, the dogs save the fucking day, and it's clear he loves those dogs too, because there is in the trailer, you see at a point where he realizes that he's going to be the death of these two dogs. And I don't know where it's at or when it happens. It may be in the final episode, but you see him trying to leave them.
And they do what he says. I mean, when he says stay, they stay.
My favorite moment is the very pilot episode. You're wondering what the hell's going on, and the one dog has its mouth over the guy's throat on the ground, and it's like he's just holding him there.
Yep.
So Jeff Bridges can quiz him, and then Jeff takes the gun away from him. I'll take that, and it's got a silencer on it.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy came there meaning business. And so he says, who do you work for? When he doesn't get an answer, he just shoots him. Oh, I'm not going to get an answer from you? Well, fuck you. And he shoots him.
Yeah, at his age, it's like you only ask once.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to sit here and bounce around with this shit with you. Give me the answer, because you're hurt. You are fucking hurt. Because he told me, he says, if you give me the answers that I need, I will call an ambulance for you and, let you live. No answer? Okay. Pump, pump, pump. Pumps him. I think he does 2 shots, 3 shots like that.
Mm-hmm.
And usual patterns are center mass if you're close quarters to put somebody down. Center mass, you hit them here, it's the heart, and then put one in the head. That way you guarantee they're dead.
Yep.
That way you don't get Michael Myers. Boom. But I shot him. Yeah, motherfucker. Dogs usually listen to me, even if they are trained. I want you to read that, Keith. Read that out loud.
Dogs usually listen to me even if they are trained.
I think he meant to say aren't trained.
Yeah, because the other way makes you some kind of dog whisperer, and
Yeah, if they're not trained and you can do it, you're a dog whisperer. If you can do that with dogs that are trained, it's like, duh. But I get you, Monkey Jeeves. I think you meant aren't trained. I've actually watched the 39-minute fan cut. I showed that to Keith. Keith shared the link, and I downloaded to watch the other fan cut. But once I saw Reva was still in it and some of the stupid shit that was in the show, I'm like, then it's not a good cut. The minute I saw it, I stopped watching. I don't know if it's the same one you're talking about, but I think it's a 2-hour cut.
Yeah,
of the show.
It's condensed to 2 hours.
It's like the length of 2 episodes.
Yeah,
cut down to 2 episodes, and I was very unhappy with it. They left in the her going alone in the tunnel. Dumb. They showed the character leaving her Leia in the tunnel to run off and rescue Obi-Wan. Dumb. Just dumb writing. And if you don't take those out, that's still a bad show.
That show is. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
That show is unsalvageable. Not even Ivan Ortega could salvage that show.
Well, Reva's the
I don't know. I think we should challenge Ivan, invite him back on the show, and go.
He's done.
Hey,
with
man,
Star Wars.
I don't think you're busy enough, Ivan. You need to do a proper fan edit of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Can you save it in the cut? Can you save it? Can you pull a Marcia Lucas and save the fucking movie Star Wars all over again?
Reva's the kind of character that should have been someone who was silent and said nothing unless she actually literally had something to say. And doing that would have helped that character immensely.
To the story. She really was. She had no place in that story. But anyway, going back, it was Francis Ford Coppola, Spielberg, and Martin Scorsese, and Brian De Palma. All four of those guys told George Lucas, your movie is unwatchable. Talking about Star Wars, the first cut that he did.
Well, have you read the first draft?
Of what?
Of Star Wars? That shit will make your eyes bleed.
I'm a fucking nerd. Of course I've read it, Martin. I also was one of those people that read the first book thanking George, because I read it when his name was the only name on the book, when it was just called Star Wars. And I still, just like with Star Trek, because Keith and I talk about this, when you say TOS, and I get it when people say TOS, but technically when you say Star Trek and you just say Star Trek, you are talking about the first series. That is the first series.
That's Star Trek.
You don't have to say TOS. When you say Star Trek, with nothing else added to it, you're not talking about the franchise. You're talking about the original series.
Yeah, but you cannot convey that you're not talking about the franchise.
If you say, look, man, I watched Star Trek. It was a great series.
Oh.
You should know that I'm talking about the original show. My friend told his dog to stay. I said, don't listen to him. And he had to get rescued by the Coast Guard. Get over there. Get over here. Yeah, the whole chase scene was stupid. And that girl's not 10 years old. Fuck you. She looks like she's 6 or 7.
Maybe. At best. Anyone that's had to raise a daughter will tell you.
When they're 10 years old, they're taller and they're starting to get that lankiness to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
They go through that growth spurt right around 10, and that girl was not going through a growth spurt.
She still looks
by the way, I'm going to tell you right now, do you think it was accidental that we didn't get to see Luke and only saw Leia?
Of course not.
If you don't think that there's politics playing behind these shows and you don't notice shit like that, you're not paying attention. And when you don't pay attention, you're a bad consumer. I don't agree with a lot of people when they, because we've had friends that said this recently, that you should just enjoy these things. And don't pay so much attention to all these things that you're finding problems with. And it's like, you're telling people to be bad consumers.
Yep.
No, what they're telling you is, I'm gonna slap you and you're gonna like it.
Yeah, well, and we
it's
all
like
know we all know how that goes for AT&T and Warner.
When you're slapped, you'll take it and like it.
The biggest issue I have with Kurtzman's is that there is one fatal mistake in every single episode of Discovery, all the way through to Strange New Worlds, which is the Delta shield that they used was not the universal symbol that you use for all Starship or Federation or Starfleet personnel. That was only done after the Enterprise's after its first 5-year mission.
Yeah.
Up until then, as established in the original Star Trek series, every starship you served on had a different symbol for their very own starship. And the Delta symbol was the only one that was.
Well, it's something that they changed later, but in the end, there is the canon aspect of it is that the Enterprise had such an impact on Starfleet that they adopted that as their logo. But what they've done in going to when they did Enterprise, that got changed.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the first things that they fucked up with Enterprise. One of the first canon things they fucked with. By the way, I do want to say, where was it? I just saw it. Lower Decks. Look, I have the exact same problem with Lower Decks that I have with Taika Waititi's Marvel movies. When you hire someone who's irreverent, which that Mike, whatever his fucking name is, Flanagan or whatever his name is, that worked on some of the episodes of Solar Opposites, and I think he worked a little bit on Rick and Morty. But he never did any major writing. That is irreverent humor. And it works when you're parodying other sci-fi shows, but when you bring it to the actual IP, this is why fans hate the show. They hate the show Lower Decks because it's irreverent, meaning it lacks reverence to the source material.
Yep.
And you cannot be official and be irreverent. And this is why they don't understand. It's a fucking parody, but the problem is they're trying to make it canon, and parody can't be. Oh my god!
Yeah,
I don't want to even get back into this discussion again.
The only other show that realizes exactly what it is the Harley Quinn animated show, because they're not.
But you got idiots that are trying to make that canon.
Yeah, I know. I hear people all the time. They should do this, and they should. That disrupts what they're trying to do. They're basically just trying to have some fun with the Batman characters in the Batman universe, and you do it by making your own version of that universe so that you can do anything you want. And they don't get that. It's like trying to teach humor to someone that has no effing idea what a funny joke is. So,
yeah, and pasting go. I'm going to bring this up because I was there when this happened, because Mikey shared it with us right after it happened. Let's go share screen. There we go. James Gunn blasts YouTube personality Grace Randolph on Twitter. Written by Edwin Francisco and, of course, Mikey Sutton, because it was Mikey Sutton that was being responded to. Director James Gunn blasted YouTube personality Grace Randolph on Twitter. Certainly, James Gunn is known for his brutal honesty online. Well, it's his truth. Yeah. Less honesty, more truth. I'm sorry, Mikey. I'm very much about language, and I feel that honesty is the wrong word here. I think truth, his truth, because he's very open about what he sees as his truth. Fans praise him for his willingness for social media interaction. In addition, he doesn't like it when scoopers make up stories about his projects. Grace Randolph earned a James Gunn debunking in September of 2020. At the time, Grace Randolph tweeted that Bane would appear in the season finale of James Gunn Peacemaker. Rumors flew because Dave Bautista wanted to play Bane. Thus, it seemed more like it is speculation. That's what I do when I'm trying to read between the lines, connecting the dots. It's speculation. Than anything else, James Gunn replied, quote, "That would be my definition, mean he was technically in the show. He does not show up at the end or anywhere and has 0 lines." James Gunn blasts YouTube. God, she's such an idiot. True to his word, there was no Bane in Peacemaker. The feud between Grace Randolph and James Gunn began in November of 12. She said Marvel Studios should fire him for his controversial remarks on Twitter, and it didn't end there. But this is the one where it just happened. I wonder if James Gunn knew the reaction to Peacemaker was less than stellar when both fans and critics have praised it, and HBO Max picked it up for a second season. Grace Randolph said, "Summer movies 2023, The Little Mermaid, Blue Beetle, Indiana Jones 5, Barbie, and much more." And James Gunn responded, "The earth revolves around the sun. Mothers love their children, and Grace Randolph will spout bullshit." And it's true. He fucking said that about her on Twitter. And it was great. That was a funny fucking moment. And it tickled the shit out of Mikey because it was technically started over something that was over a scoop that he made. And James Gunn has liked his scoops, by the way. Because Mikey gets it right. You know, Mikey is connected in a way that Grace Randolph only wishes she was. The proportion to Grace Randolph's unlikability is directly proportional to her weight loss. She used to be fun and personable. Now she's uppity and yeah, she's snarky in a way that I find very unpleasant. She has a very unpleasant persona now.
Yeah, that's it. That unpleasant is the word.
Yeah. I used to watch her back when she first started, but there came a point, and I think it was around the 2014 to 2015 time where I started questioning it. And then definitely before we started watching, doing our show, I had stopped watching her altogether. And that one and another person, I hate saying his name, but everybody knows who he is. He's a guy who bites every hand that's fed him. He has a YouTube channel, and I've always made it a rule to not go after YouTubers. Grace Randolph isn't a YouTuber; she's bigger than that. But this person is still technically known for his YouTube channel, and he says things that are just so off-putting. And he bit the hand of Mikey because Mikey was helping him, and he shit on Mikey. And we warned Mikey about this person. Said he's notorious for doing this. Just be careful. We don't want to see you get hurt because he's a friend of ours. This is back before he had, grown and gotten big. But Grace Randolph, she's just fucking shithead. She's not.
You're not doing well when even John Campia gets a chance to shit on you. So
yeah, and I still, God,
like John
Campia. I have problems with John Campia because of what happened in the past. But I'm trying to lighten up because our Lord and Savior Robert Meyer Burnett still loves him.
Yeah, works with him. Yeah. And we
Look
need to
who's
get him
here.
back on our show as soon as possible. So
Penny is here. Good morning, Penny.
Good morning, Penny. How are you? No, Robert Meyer Burnett. We need to get Robert Meyer Burnett back on here as soon as we can because Robert Meyer Burnett might as well just be my other twin. I mean, that's the fact of the matter.
Well, she took a shot at Mikey Sutton, and that's one reason why I really don't like her. Because I'm like, lady, you don't amount to a corn kernel and the fucking turd that he put out this morning in the toilet. You are you're a corn kernel in his turd talking shit about Mikey Sutton, the one that shit you. Because Mikey's batting 1,000. People think that he's missed stuff, and it's like, no, he was right. Everything he was, and you don't get payoffs immediately. Some of those things are 2 to 3 years out. So you just got to be patient with scoops. We're talking about Grace Randolph. who is, she was so cute and fun when she started, all the way up into the mid 20 teens. I thought she was, but then like right around midway, right about the time I moved to Phoenix, I started I don't know. Her personality started shifting a little bit, and by 2018, I was done watching her. I stopped watching her.
Well, I know people that watch her just because she looks nice, but they don't.
I agree, Mike sucks.
Yeah, it just.
Well, Keith and I talk to Mikey Sutton every day. We don't miss a day of talking to him. He is actually a friend. We're because no matter how successful he gets, he knows Keith and I are the ones who brought him to YouTube.
He's fun to talk to.
And he really loves us because we saw something in him from the very beginning. And I blame Bom Marciano for that. And he's been on our show. I love Bom. Bom's been a friend of mine for 15 years. And he's like, hey, man, you need to check out this Mikey Sutton. I went, oh. And that sneaky son of a bitch. He was secretly the manager of Mikey Sutton. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. You tricked me into that, you fucker. But he was right. Mikey Sutton's got something, man. He knows what he's talking about. And he's so well connected within the industry.
There's a reason why he's got a record for basically just being correct with everything that he's posted. I mean, you don't get that kind of a record for being right that many times if you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And I know that there was a beef between him and between him and Doomcock. But it died very quickly. Doomcock and he were introduced, and he understood more of who Mikey Sutton was once they were introduced. Yeah. And I'm glad that got quashed quickly because we love Doomcock. I can't get enough Doomcock, man. I could just consume Doomcock all day.
Man, phrasing.
He is the biggest Doomcock ever. I'm out of coffee, so I'm drinking my caffeinated water.
Do you know what we really need here? More
what do we
Sarah
really
Frazetta.
Need?
More Sarah.
Yeah. If we could get Sarah Frazetta on the show.
Well, I just hit her up privately. So because I want to plan out her surprise by having Drew back on. And I want to find that exact photo. So I'm going to be talking to Drew too to share with me that exact photo of who took that photo. He did, of her and her grandpa. And so that'll be fun. And he'll be more one of us on that episode, Drew Blair. And by the way, I want to point out, I'm very disappointed with the numbers. I know it hit when we had the outage up there in Canada, but you guys really need to go watch that interview with him, man. Drew worked, he was a Star Trek artist.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he and I became friends. Him, Keith Birdsong, and I. They did the books, and I did those commissions, those licensed commissions. I did the 2 battles, Battle of Narendra 3 and Battle of Wolf 359. And
do you still have some of those stuff that we had posted, or what you had made the out of his artwork to show everyone?
No, I don't think I saved those. But Drew, because I admire him so much, and I wasn't going to become friends with him because if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have met Keith Birdsong. There were just 2 Star Trek artists that I knew about at the time, and but I didn't know that they knew about me. Oh yeah, I like that one of you. This is White Keith down there. So, if you're not going to fucking fix it, I won't let me fix it, but I can fix it on mine. So hold on. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to do that. Done. And it didn't affect him. But if I go like this right now, I'm Keith. People say Doomcock lies to his audience. I don't think he lies. I don't think he even exaggerates. I think that he overacts because he's clearly an overactor. That's why he's such a big Shatner fan.
Yeah, he's a performer. I mean, that's what he does. It's a thing.
It's performance art but he's still talking about stuff. And and he does have insiders, but how reliable are they? We don't know. He doesn't know. He knows that some of them have panned out and some of them didn't.
Yeah. Well, he lets you know. He doesn't lie. He'll say, look, I got this from somebody. I can neither confirm how much of this is true, if any of it is true. I'm just letting you know what I learned. And as long as he does that, you know what you're getting. So people who get like twisted up their own ass about the whole thing with Doomcock, you're just looking for something to argue about, is really what it comes down to. So
I want to point out on this one, I wanted the Star Trek Enterprise because people don't know Drew, but they know his artwork when they see it. And so therefore I wanted the Star Trek image to be prominent. But, when I do those thumbnails, you got to remember I'm in the middle of my career too. And so I have very little time to do the thumbnails, and I do the best I can. So fuck you, Mr. Tickle Truck, for criticizing my work. I tried. I just wanted people to see his artwork and go, and it's written right up there. This is a painting, not an image from the movie. But Doomcock is wrong sometimes. Oh no, he's absolutely wrong. He's not batting 1,000. I would say he's batting closer to 700 on his accuracy, maybe even less than that. Whereas Mikey is batting 1,000. He's never had a strikeout. And you have to understand baseball to understand how batting averages work, to understand what I'm saying. Yeah, Doomcock's cool. He's got that skull now. The voices, because I think he does all the voices. And I enjoy the shit out of Doomcock. I can lose myself just watching one of his episodes.
That skull is like a mix between C-3PO and Moff Tarkin.
I think it's also a nod to the character from Pee Wee Herman, the genie in the box.
Oh, that's
used to be Phil Hartman.
Drunk.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you too, Mr. Tickle Drunk. Thanks for stopping in, man. I appreciate it, buddy. You are awesome. We love you, man. I love you. I love all you guys. It's like, once again, I was dreading doing this show, and now I look forward to doing the show and talking to you guys.
Zombie.
Micka hi, Micka hiney ho. And again, Craig Edwards, who used to be a producer on the show, and he used to do the thumbnails. He was the major set designer and miniature designer for Pee Wee Herman. Yes. He was one that helped build that set and design it.
I've got something I've always wanted to do with these. Zombie.
Still, Mom. Take it easy, Tickle Truck. We'll see you later, buddy. Thanks for dropping in, man. But once again, I probably should be wrapping this show up here because I have to have a meeting with these guys after the show. Harvey, that's his name. Harvey Cthulhu. Thank you, Bill. I fucking love that character. Yeah, with the way he talks, And then Skull is like, how dare you? It's like, he's just, he's having fun doing this shit.
Yeah.
And he's got a team to help him do this stuff now so he can do his show. At first, I was kind of turned off by it. I loved what he was saying, but I don't like the hiding behind a character thing. But I get it now. Well, I actually understood it after like a year. Because I deal with that with our guy. He's our co-host on Fridays, is Fat Steven Seagal. Fat Steven is kind of a character. But he doesn't know where the character ends and he begins sometimes, which is why I make fun of him. And I love him. Fat Steven is a good friend of mine, close friend. And I love having him on.
Fat Steven's great. As far as Doomcock is concerned, I love the fact that he just makes everyone at Lucasfilm crazy. I love that. Every time he does anything, and he does a show about Lucasfilm, the Lucasfilm Story Group, KK, everybody, he just drives them nuts.
Yeah, and that's why one of the reasons why I really didn't like what's his name, Ryan Johnson, because Mike Zero has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. He really doesn't.
But
he's a sweet nut job, you know.
Yeah.
He's a sweetheart, but he's a nut job, and that Ryan Johnson fucking attacked him with his fucking Snoke thing that he held up. Your Snoke theories suck. And I redid it a long time ago. I don't have a copy of it. I think it's gone now. Where I found the same font and wrote on there, "Your Snoke sucks," or "My Snoke sucks." So he's holding up the sticker that says that, and because he's such an asshole, he's a piece of shit.
he is.
But I've known about Ryan Johnson long before Star Wars, because he was a fucking him and two of his friends, it was a girl and a guy. They would troll nerds. Didn't matter if it was comics, Star Trek, Star Wars. He would just troll the shit out of them and fuck with them. And they're just mean-spirited. He's a mean-spirited person. And I warn people about him. Now, on the James Gunn, I also followed him back when he was just a blog. And I read his stuff, and I saw some of his stuff. He was trying to be edgy and be funny all the time. But he would say things that were borderline creepy about girls that were not old enough. Like, he was talking about he and his brother were at Six Flags in St. Louis. Okay. And he said there was this guy. No, it was his brother. His brother was hemming and hawing about getting on the ride. And was nervous about this fucking ride at Six Flags. And suddenly this 12-year-old girl behind them says, "Oh, stop being a pussy and get on the ride. Everybody wants, is waiting for you." And I can't remember how he phrased it, but it was so fucking funny the way this girl phrased it. It was such an absolute shitting on of Gunn's brother, the actor, the performer. And
Sean.
It shut him down, and he got on the ride and shut the fuck up. But James Gunn wrote in this blog, he says, "I can hardly wait till she turns 18 so I can fuck her." And I laughed, but then I thought, that's a skeevy fucking thing to say. That the idea is already in your head about this girl.
Mm-hmm.
But he's, that's the way he works. He's trying to be edgy and say things that are funny, because he's always trying to find funny ways to say things. And sometimes it hits, but sometimes some of his shit, and his parties were all meant to be humorous, the pedophile parties. But whether he knew or not, there were people involved in his inner circle that were actual fucking people that had a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he called out, what's his name that played Morbius?
Jared Leto.
I kind of thought it was funny. It's sort of like the pot calling the kettle black. Why did they say black? That's so racist.
Right?
It's because back when that phrase came up, they were both
Yeah.
cast iron black.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but some people actually go, "Oh, that's racist." It's not, because using the word black doesn't just mean black people. Progressives are fucking idiots, dude.
It's not like I get a percentage of any time anybody uses that word. I wish I did. It's like, "Oh, look, it's that black guy." Ching. Thank you.
Right. So, but anyway, George Lucas is here. Good morning, George Lucas. It looks like he's got eyes on us. All right. Everything was cast iron. Yeah, everything. But I guess this is it. Go ahead, throw me my list, Mike, Martin, if you've got it. Don't Gerry. Oh, get Gerry started. Yeah, right. He left out the word get. And that goes into this video. It's so hard for me to find my videos. I really need to have them categorized so I can find them immediately. Did I delete it already? Did I delete it? Oh my God.
Don't get him started.
No, here it is.
Don't get me started. Don't even get me started.
I used to like Molly Shannon. She was funny. I don't know what happened to her.
She's doing a series of commercials for a particular type of place that gives you bank loans and stuff. And I like her. I still think she's funny. I'd use her.
Yeah, but you just don't see her much anymore. And
I know.
All right. Script is on Midnight's Edge right now. Okay. So that's why he couldn't join us. Aaron Ratliff, I want to thank you for being here, man. Bill Barclay, CJ Batpunk, not to be mistaken with his cousin Bat Spunk. Christopher Moonlight Productions here, my buddy Chris. Das Wolfin, Dennis McCullough, Floral from Under a Rock, Gap After Dark now. I think that's funny, but I just think of you as Gap Stargate. George Lucas is here because he's not doing anything anymore. He's just living in retirement and eating at the food courts at a mall. I saw the video, just sitting there eating his fucking Chinese food, and it was really him. I'm like, oh my god, you're fucking at the mall. Infomedia Live, Kingsport Cal, Marcos A, Monkey Jeebus, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Script Doctor was here. We love Script Doctor. He's a personal friend of ours. And still one of the only human beings I've been on the phone with for 9 hours. Secret Circus Podcast, my buddy Chris. Sox Bulletins, who is probably as big a fan as we are of Mikey Sutton. And War Monkey and Zacharot 315. I loved seeing that both my monkey friends were here today. It's always good to see them. I didn't catch that last comment. What was that? I'm going to tell you something. Back before Whose Line Is It Anyway was a game that we played when I was doing live stand-up comedy with a comedy troupe up in Seattle. And we would do street improv. And it's where my whole Sean Connery skit came from. That really was a hit there for a while. And it's made a lot of people laugh when they're like, holy shit, that's fucking hilarious. Because it ends with, everything ends. It's like, but it was David Frost interviewing Sean Connery, and we did it on the spot, but it was an idea I'd been working on, and somebody said Sean Connery, and I fucking went with it. And I think it's because he was one of our regulars, and I always can slip into a Sean Connery impression. And so I did this whole skit. I have this idea. Let's do this now. So I got a powdered wig, walked out there, sat down in a chair, and he was already sitting waiting for me, doing the worst David Frost I ever heard. But I said, just try to do an English accent. He's Australian, but try to do English. And so he interviewed and basically, you played all these characters. Could you give us a sample of that character? And then at the end of it, he says, you don't sound like that character's nationality. You still sound Scottish. And of course, Connery's from like, well, of course I did. I'm Scottish, you get. Well, what exactly made you Arab, Russian, whatever? Well, of course, I was wearing a turban. Did you not see that crew cut when I played the Russian? It was the hairpiece, the wig, and that was the punchline to each one. And finally, it gets down to, what are you doing now? Oh, bye, Penny. I'll see you later. It gets down to this final scene where he says, I understand that you and your old best friend are doing a movie now? Yes, we're making the sequel to Malcolm X. It's Malcolm X 2 or Malcolm X II. Well, that's 12. What? It's one of those confused moments, and it was meant to get a laugh just out of the confusion. And then we get to the part where he says, well, can you do a scene from that? And of course, it's the Plymouth Rock scene, and he delivers the line. And it cuts, we cut back to him doing the line. Okay, there's so many problems with this. I don't know how to say this. One, those characters died in the previous film. So I'm not sure how this can be a sequel. Because Michael Caine is playing Martin Luther King and Sean Connery is playing Malcolm X. And he says, that's the first problem. Second one is they're black and you're both British and white. Well, of course, I'll be wearing a hairpiece. And he got a huge laugh. And it's just something that sparked. And we're going to I have an animated version of it that one day I'm going to fix and put out that, but I didn't do the voice on it. I was irritated because I was doing the animation. I was writing it and directing it and animating it. And the guy that was working with me said, then you don't get to do any voices. I do all the voices. And I'm like, but I like doing my Sean Connery. But oh well. One day that'll happen. But I want to thank everybody for being here. It was a great morning. It was fun. I was looking forward to it. And thanks for popping in, Keith. And of course, Danny, thanks for popping in with me, even though you're silent but sexy. Blackface is what you should have said. Yeah, but the whole thing was about the wigs.
Yeah, sorry about that, but thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem,
still
man.
sticking around.
Yeah, well, we need to talk afterward. And I don't care if there's hammer noises or cutting or fucking. I don't know what you're doing there.
Gerry, you let your friend know, though, if Seth MacFarlane can animate and do voices, so can you.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a hold of him, and he never returns my calls anymore. You know, if I don't call and make it sound urgent or say these exact words, hey, just leaving you this message, Mac. I know you're not going to call me back, but hope to hear from you one day. And then, like, he'll call me back after I do that. And he's like, you fucker. And I'm like, yeah, I know how to guilt you. I'm Catholic, motherfucker. I know how to throw guilt. Thanks, Bill. Yeah. And, but I want to thank all you guys for being here. You are the reason I do this show, and I enjoy doing the show, is talking to you guys. Keith knows I like it. You know, I like trying to be funny, and I like having I would love to have a live audience. This is one thing he and I've talked about since we started. I would love to find a way to do the show with an audience.
That's how we started, dude. Technically, we did it.
Yeah, because I would say the shit I said, and you would hear the crowd laughing when I would say these things. And I like that. I like the instant reaction of my humor. And it's one of the things I fucked with Steven about, because like he made a joke on one episode we were doing together. All of us were there. You were there too. And he's like, he saw people going laughing my ass off, Steven, LOL, Steven, all that shit. And he's like pointing it out. See, Gerry, I'm funny. I went, yeah. So I let it go. And then like halfway through it, I fucking said something ridiculously funny that just spontaneously popped into my head. And it cracked up the panel. They started laughing out loud. You remember that? And I immediately just stabbed him. I said, and there, Steven, that's how you know you're funny, is when the people you're surrounded by actually laugh and not just write LOL or LMAO in the chat. The people you're with laugh. And he goes, fuck you. I love Steven. He is funny. He really does crack me up in my head most of the time. Because I don't always laugh out loud.
Yeah.
I've heard people in the chat go, hey, you wrote LOL. And I said, yeah, but I'm laughing out loud in my head. I actually find stuff funny and I don't laugh at it. I watch a lot of comedy specials and I'm just thoroughly entertained. And I'm sitting there just like this. But every once in a while, once in a blue moon, Bill Burr is the guy who's done it. Norm Macdonald's another one. Don Rickles is another. I'm trying to think of other comedians who have actually really fucking made me go like that. It's fucking happened. I don't always physically laugh out loud, but I do laugh in my head. I'm like, that shit's funny. In my head, I'm like, that shit's funny. God, that was good. Bill Burr, fucking, he'll kill me with some of this shit. That's why I loved what you sent to me the other night, even though or last night, Keith, that video of him talking about progressives, you know, and he nails it because he's a liberal too. He's your typical Boston liberal. But the fact is, he hates progressives and he hates leftists. But he's quite liberal. He's a liberal Democrat. And which is, you know, what I'm not. I'm not a liberal. I'm a Democrat at heart. It's just the Democrat that I am doesn't fit into the current definition of Democratic Party. Because they just sort of left guys like me, or women too, women, men, because Roseanne Barr complained about that. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
You know, and she tries because she's a fucking liberal.
Yeah.
I mean, like big time. And when she starts saying that to people and gets made fun of, they're not understanding. And that's why I don't like Jimmy Kimmel, because Jimmy Kimmel's a fucking bullshit lefty fucking progressive. And he used to not be that way. It's because of Hollywood. Hollywood, once he got accepted into Hollywood, that's when he changed.
Yeah.
And he did change. This isn't something that was hiding and waiting to come out. It was something he saw. He says, hey, I'm going to have to do this if I want to survive in Hollywood. And he became that animal that we see now. I will never betray my beliefs. It'll never change with me. And I don't give a shit if people have a problem with it. Liberal does not equal leftist, Martin. Leftists and liberals are two different animals. Leftists are socialists and commies, really. And people who basically a friend of mine who is
that's what I said.
Oh no, it says liberal equals leftist.
No, there's an exclamation point before the equal, which in
I don't know what that means.
Oh, in coding it's mean different.
Oh, different. Okay, all right. I've written HTML. I've never seen that before.
But HTML is not coding.
Well, writing JavaScripts are, motherfucker. And I write raw when I used to do it. But anyway, Beta Ray Bill Burr. I like that one. But Adam Carolla, I fucking love him. And he and Jimmy are still really close friends. But I don't know how. Yeah, he never changed. He is just the same way. And he was also a little bit liberal, socially liberal. He's politically conservative, but he's socially liberal.
Yes.
Whereas I'm socially liberal, but politically conservative, and it's really weird. But I don't really like being, because I've been called a Republican. I'm like, fuck you. I'm not a Republican. I'm not an apologist for the Republican Party either. It's like I don't like Sean Hannity for a reason, because he's a Republican stooge. He's an apologist for the Republican Party. I don't like apologists. I don't give a shit if he's right. I don't. He's been right many times. I don't care. He's an apologist, and I dislike that. He says he calls Republicans out, and I'm like, not that I've ever seen, and I've watched him many a times. Yeah, Kimmel's just become kind of scummy. Yeah. Yeah, HTML is coding. It's just not coding to Martin, who is the worst Mexican I've ever met. Because he's not Mexican. He just lives there. There is a joke I wanted to... What? Oh, Justice Fat. There's Fat Seagal. There he is. Morning, Fats. Who it is? Yeah, you missed me poking a little fun at you, buddy. But I also ended it with, I really love you. You're one of my closest friends, and I love you. But I only poke fun at my friends. I insult people I don't like. And we were talking about Grace Randolph today, and I just called her out. She's a piece of shit. Snarky piece of shit. Fuck her. We believe in Mikey Sutton. But yeah, it's look, man, I know South Americans, when they try to migrate to the United States, they'll get a lot of hassling from the security in Mexico. But seriously, dude, what happened, Martin? Why'd you stay instead of just keep going north?
Because we were on Venezuela, and my wife works with a transnational float surf, and they transferred her here.
Oh, so where were you? You were in Venezuela before that?
Yes, I was in Venezuela.
Oh, so you were professionally changed here. You weren't migrating because you wanted to. You were migrated because of a job. Got you.
Both.
But I got to tell you, if you're making Venezuela money in Mexico, is that good?
No.
It's not good.
Venezuelan money is monopoly money.
Because if you're making American money, well, until inflation hit.
No, I would like that. It has dollars in Mexico. That is a good trade.
Wait a minute. What's this? Yeah, yes. We're going to have shit talk this week. It'll be on my channel. That'll be Wednesday at 6:30 Central Standard Time, I think. And,
I would like I would like to take this moment to congratulate Fat Steven because you got your monetization back. Good for you, my
shit.
friend.
Did he?
Yes.
About fucking time. YouTube was really fucking with him. And I went and checked your stats. You're kicking ass again, Steven. You're doing really good on your numbers. So no more help from me. Fuck you. Now we're in competition again, bitch. No. But I'm looking forward to this week doing our shit talk. And but tomorrow morning we're going to have I'm assuming of course Danny is talking about being here, and Animus what's her last part of her fake name?
Anima Confusa. So
Anima Anima
hit her
Confusa
up.
is going to be here.
Hopefully,
and
I'm
we're going to
hit
talk
her
about
up
the
on
boys.
Discord.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
better
that's the
fucking
plan.
set this up because I'm talking about it now, bitch.
I'm going to set it up. You
better fucking set it up. I'm fucking tired of your shit. So Bill is to be dark, maybe a horror. Oh, I actually enjoyed that Banana Splits movie, but it also pissed me off because you're fucking with something I loved as a kid. So, and they rely on fans of Banana Splits to fucking watch their shit. So Barney, I've never liked Barney. So I used to make up versions of his song. I like you, you like me. I have a frontal lobotomy. Now I'm falling down drunk from drinking this cheap booze. Uh-oh, I shit on my shoes. I used to make up all kinds.
Yeah, I hated that character.
I didn't let Zoe ever watch it. I never let Zoe
good man, good man.
The best thing is the kids only see him after they consume something.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't exist until they've been given like cough medicine. But look, Anima, I hope you're going to be here because it would be fun to do that show. And if you don't show up, it's going to spoil the whole episode. So I don't want to put any pressure on you, but you really need to be here, or I don't know what to do tomorrow. I'm a dick. Hey, Keith, thanks for dropping in and talking about The Old Man. Great show. I fucking love that show. Great action scenes. Jeff Bridges nails it. John Lithgow is great. The girl playing the daughter, look, she's always been one of those girls. When I first saw her, I'm like, man, if I were younger and single, I would fucking go for that. I like her with all those freckles. She's hot to me. And she's smart and she's funny. But I like her in this character. And she's really brought a level to that character, the way she portrays her. I don't want to say who she is.
Yeah.
But that really is added, and it's really brought something out of John Lithgow's character. It's great performance on everybody's part. And this last episode with that fucking ending, I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. No kidding. It was an oh shit kind of ending.
Only 6 episodes. It is only 6 episodes. So you can go to Hulu and watch it.
Well, wait, it's an 8-episode season, isn't it?
Oh, I thought it was 6 episodes.
No, let me double check because I thought for sure that I saw 8. I'm going to double check before we go. Episodes. Let me see if I was right or wrong. It's 7 episodes. We have one more episode. The next episode is the finale. Yeah, you cannot leave a season on that cliffhanger because we need to see something come from this before the ending.
Yeah.
So, but what a great show. Great ending to this last episode. Build up for the finale of the season. And I'm telling you, it's worth your watch. Really good writing, great acting, great direction, great cinematography. This is a very long movie.
Yeah.
And it's a movie that the kind of films I like. I like thrillers, espionage thrillers. And this has so many layers to it. And I like the actors that they picked to play the younger versions of themselves.
Yeah, very well cast. But led off by John Lithgow and just Jeff
They're
Bridges.
the stars. Jeff Bridges and he are the stars. But you even have another actor in there. Hold on a second. I forgot his name. Oh my God, I can't believe that. His daughter was in Dirty Dancing. Gray. Joel Gray. There, I didn't have to look it up. I remembered it. Joel Gray is back, baby. The last time I saw him on anything on television was on Criminal Intent. And he was great in that. He had to figure out how he did it. He was the killer. And they had, Vincent D'Onofrio had to break down how he did it. A great episode. The Old Man, if you haven't watched yet on FX, watch it, man. You can also catch it on Hulu. Mm-hmm. Evil is on Paramount. And I'm telling you, it's one of the few things made by Paramount that's worth watching. That and SEAL Team are two of my favorite things that they're making. And I do enjoy, in part, most of Strange New Worlds. I would say that it's about 70% good to 30% bad per episode. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it'll flip and it'll be 70% bad, 30% good. But then there's like 2 solid episodes that I enjoyed. One of them, some people didn't like. And I look at it and it's like, look, I get your complaint, but I don't agree. On a personal level, not a professional level, I actually enjoyed the episode where they were being altered by that intelligent being that acted like a Q. Mm-hmm. And may very well be part of the continuum.
Gerry, I always wanted to ask you, have you seen Six?
What is Six?
It's a show about the SEAL Team 6, but way after Bin Laden.
Season 1 was good. Season 2 is garbage.
When
you hear a Navy SEAL operator telling his wife that he doesn't want her using a gun to protect herself, that's bullshit. That never happened in any world. I don't care what part of the multiverse. No Navy SEAL would do that. In fact, Navy SEALs notoriously train their families in weapon training so they can protect themselves because they know that what they do could be a threat to the entire family. That's a fact.
Well,
that show was bullshit. It was leftist garbage.
I only saw the first season.
First season was the only good one.
Thank you.
Season 2, don't watch it. It's a waste of time.
Well, look, I enjoy being on with you guys. But remember,
I'm going to hit our outro now so we can go.
Oh.
I want to thank everyone for being here. Again, thanks to the chat. You guys are why I do the show. Thanks for popping in, Keith. Thanks, Danny. And, of course, thank you, Martin, for managing the chat for me.
Happy Comic-Con week, everybody.
Happy Comic-Con? Okay, San Diego. Yeah, fuck San Diego. I've been to the San Diego Comic-Con. I hated it. Anyway, we're out of here. Find us there. Yes, we do want to believe. We're here to believe you.
Y'all come back now. You hear?